What is up, Internet Thug family? Today, I will be talking about two of the most notorious social media influencers, Bonnie Blue and Mia Khalifa. These influencers are known for viral stunts and the virality they have attained. But why am I talking about this? So let's dig deeper into why I'm going onto this topic of lust today, alright? So today we're going to be talking about how lust sells. Lust is a big problem that men and women do deal with in today's day and age. So let's dive a little deeper. My presentation is about how lust is used to be sold on social media, and I'll also go over various psychological information about the producers and consumers of lustful content, and also how long-term cultural aspects along with economic consequences. But why does this matter? Well, this matters because lust sells at a cost of someone's psychological health. It has an impact on societal culture and the media industry, and this will affect future generations to come. So, if people are lust driven, then our kids might end up being lust driven. You guys hear the saying, father like son, right? Well, if you have a problem with gooning, then maybe your son's gonna have the same problem in the future. It's the hard truth. But let's dive deeper into this, all right? So this right here is Mia Khalifa, and this is Bonnie Blue. A lot of y'all do know them. I personally don't know them actually. So we're just gonna continue. But she had sex with 1,000 men, and she was, I don't know what she did actually. She complained about like how the porn industry is bad after she made millions. Now, the female body has long been symbolic, but today it's explicitly used as an object of lust, seduction, and sales in advertising and social media. Media has always thrived on the hype, and like Sydney Sweeney, she's a prime example. People wanted to buy this soap right here because it had her bathwater in it, and that's it's lustful. People go to Hooters not just for the wings, they go for, a little bit of ass. But this trend did come to my mind when I used to doom scroll on TikTok for hours 7 months ago. All right, and now I think we're clean off of TikTok. We don't use it anymore. But from the break of scrolling for hours each day, I gained clarity of my mind, and I gained a conclusion that brain stimulating posts on social media gain a lot of traction, and the most stimulating thing on social media is lust. So when you see a female shaking ass, or you see a little bit of cleavage or anything in that sort, right? Your brain is hooked, like, oh my god, I need to watch this whole thing and send it to my friends. Oh my god, like it feels like a drug almost. It's like rewarding. Let's keep moving. Connecting to the larger problem, all right? So I just threw a bunch of information out there, but what does it even mean? So, with tons of sexualized content being uploaded on social media, a lot of psychological consequences or mental consequences appear. And one of those would be unhealthy comparisons and body dysmorphia. So, this would often lead individuals to a lower mental health state, causing anxiety, feeling left out, and even depression. I mean, like with these negatives, only one side gains from this, and that is like the people that are making the content, that are producing this lustful content. So, the hype and lust based content drives from enormous profits, and for media conglomerates, this is why a lot of social media algorithms pushed for sexualized content because it makes the most money, and it's the most brain stimulating, and it's the most engaging. Sophie Rain, she started OnlyFans, made $3 million off the first day, first rip. But we don't like that, right? We don't like that. Now let's go to the levels of addiction. So this right here is your brain off, like normally. This is a normal healthy brain, all right? And this this right here is your brain on porn, all right, from sexualized content. It's almost the same as taking cocaine, all right? You do a little, oh, like it feels good, it feels right, right? That's your brain right there. For the consumers of this content, there are four levels, and level one is like regular social media users. At this level, you are consuming normal content, and as time goes on, lustful content slowly starts entering your FYP, triggering your dopamine receptors without awareness, okay? Level 2 is engagement and cravings. In this level, your algorithm starts promoting more sexualized content. For example, half naked women, and for ladies, super good looking men with unnatural human features, okay? Now, the brain is hooked to this content and you engage with it more. Teens start self sexualizing themselves to follow these trends. That's why it's more common for people nowadays to have sex at a younger age because of the social media part. Like, it's being sexualized is normal in our society now, all right? Level 3, this is dependency. And a lot more men fall into this category rather than women. Women don't typically get into this category a lot, but I mean, it is still possible, okay? Uh, Users start to become dependent on the content and use it as an escape or easy way to get cheap dopamine. And at this stage, pornographic content becomes more normalized and you start losing your self-worth. So you start losing the self-pride you have, the value of a person you have, and you're just like guilt, guilt, guilt. Let me beat my dick for more dopamine, okay? Let me bust a nut real quick. Let me bust a nut. Level 4, consequences and mental health, all right? How many of y'all heard of post-nut clarity? I mean, you guys probably know what that is. This is a real phenomenon that happens from the buildup of watching sexualized content too much. Your body isn't meant to have that much stimulation, and thus when you ejaculate, you get a feeling of guilt and disgust, all right? People at this stage also have distorted views on relationships that are completely unethical. But the people at this stage are also the producers of this content, like Bonnie Blue and Mia Khalifa, all right? Once you are the face of the lustful industry, you develop issues with finding joy in non-sexualized activities, and the real only joy they can find is in the monetary things like money, but even that comes with trauma. For the consumers, they will only find joy in beating their dick and ejaculating, and will end up developing an addiction that will impact them socially, mentally, and physically. If you are at this stage, I genuinely would recommend reaching out to someone and seeking help, because it's a big problem. And this is post-nut clarity, right? So when you ejaculate and you have your orgasm, your dopamine is at its peak and then it goes back down. But then your prolactin level shoots straight up. Let's talk about future consequences too. So future generations will be impacted if lustful content continues to dominate social media. Superficial values would change. Society would start to value sexual appeal over ideas, kindness, and accomplishments. And relationships would be affected tremendously, okay? Intimacy would become more transactional based on appearance and sensationalism rather than sentiment and deep connection. And that's something that's also happening currently. Like, a man provides, okay, and a woman just gives sex. It's an equal economy, all right? The man works, the woman gives sex. Boom. It could go either way nowadays, okay? Like, maybe some woman provides and the man just has to give some, you know what I mean, some pipe, bro. But like, it's a transaction now. There's no value to having deeper connections with sex anymore. Like, it's not for marriage. It's a culture thing. Like, I need to get dick down, or I need to go give some dick on Thursday night, bro. Like, that's what's happening now, okay? Psychological issues would also begin to develop. Future generations will feel they must meet unrealistic beauty standards and would feel the need to be sexually active at a younger age. Now, if the algorithm continues to focus on this lust-driven content, then future generations will grow up less curious, less empathetic, and less concerned about moral values. And we can see that today, like in real time happening. Like, the world is becoming hypersexualized. Nike is also one of the biggest problems. Like, clothing companies, Lululemon, like all these companies, they're pushing out the agenda that you need to wear skin tight things. That's also a form of like stimulation. You see a girl wearing this tightest fucking leggings, all right? You're like, oh, look at that ass, man. Like, look at that ass, bro. Like, that's what you're gonna say, bro. Like, it's becoming too normal. And It's not the fault of these people, but they're being brainwashed into doing it and following the trend. So you guys have to be more aware. Now let's talk about some stakeholders. Some stakeholders, bro. Bonnie Blue and Mia Khalifa, they're two big stakeholders in this industry, but they are important because they gained a lot of attention in this industry. They bring credibility to women empowerment and body positivity, but also face stigma, safety risks, mental health issues, and digital preeminence. Users of this lust-driven content are also another stakeholder. Like this would be you if you're stuck in the addiction loop. Um, they face dopamine-driven habits and body dysmorphia and mental health issues. If you talk to your friend, your close friend, I mean, he's probably going through the same thing. You don't know, all right? Just always talk to someone. You can get out of a situation that you're in, all right? We're excited, all right? But in conclusion, we do know that lust is bad in all aspects, but the only real winners are the producers of the content by profiting millions of dollars in income. But the consequences of lust driven content are both psychological, cultural, and generational. If our media becomes completely lust driven, then we risk teaching new generations that worth is only what attracts attention, and authenticity plus morality becomes obsolete. My name is Internet Thug Ohm, and that was my presentation on lust. All right, guys? I thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure y'all like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this.